What could you say at induction stage to plan for when things get wobbly? So I assume this is when someone's coming into an organisation, and what could we do to help people?
What induction is about inducting new staff members into the culture of the organisation.
By making it clear that it's okay to talk about the pressures they're under and how it's affecting them.
It needs to be seen,
yeah,
to be believed, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I do think that companies are good at saying we have this EAP and we have this service, and that when that door closes and you start that job, that it's not like, okay, I know they said that, but that's not what it feels like.
Asking what kind of support someone needs. You know, do they need time, or a pat on the head like a wee cat? But like it's. What do you need as an individual to be, at your strongest?
Yeah.
And how do we facilitate that within the workplace,
From day one, you talked about, falling from heights or car safety versus mental health from day one, as though it was a normal part of business.
It's a natural extension of the health and safety part of an induction.
It's as valid as wearing a hard hat on site.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
Straight away, you've opened the discussion that it's normal for this place to have those discussions. I don't know how many organisations do that.
What resources or support can you offer someone needing help? For example, flexible working hours.
Yeah, I mean, flexible work hours would be awesome.
Reduced duties or slightly different duties.
Acknowledging things like mental health days in the workplace. I didn't actually know mental health days existed until this year.
A great thing, and this is something I tried to do for myself, is like a colleague to talk to. So, a support person.
And then things like EAP, so an employee assistance program, where staff can go and talk to a trained counsellor or therapist confidentially.
I find the mornings much more difficult than the afternoons and evenings, which is not uncommon.
Providing the option to work from home a couple of days a week can be really helpful for people.
Even for the small business owners I talk to, if you've got an employee who you know and they're struggling, you really need to care about them, They've given to you, so give back.
But I think we need flexibility in all industries, that if someone's really not coping, that they have a chance to go and heal somewhere. Yeah.
What could a back-to-work plan look like?
When you've suffered mental distress and it's debilitating, to come back from it, you're a hero. It's hard work getting back from below zero.
You've succeeded, or you're victorious in overcoming the challenges that mental illness can bring.
Opening the doors and not making them feel like coming back to work is going to be that whole process of having to justify why you're away.
Nice big warm welcome back, and a little bit of acknowledgement for coming back to work.
I think the big difference here is the stigma side of it. So if someone's had a bad back or they've had an operation, then that can be talked about quite freely.
Breaking a back is something really concrete that everyone can go, wow, you couldn't possibly work. But there's no reason to not work when you're just feeling down, which is kind of how it was seen, I think.
Asking, obviously, the individual what they need to be able to integrate back into the workplace.
They should be aware of some of the triggers that might bring on an episode if you're still have a tendency to become unwell.
Also understanding, what's likely to be bad for the person when they come back, what's likely to stress them, what's likely to make them unhappy.
You need to work on some emotional sides of it, but you need to come back and say, the best thing we can do for you, Bob, we believe, is to get you back to work.
What can we do together to create a work environment where it's okay to talk about mental health issues?
I think we can all start by acknowledging that mental illness is a thing.
I know that leaders create culture.
In large organisations, it will come back to the leadership of those organisations, because they're the ones who give permission and create the safe environments for it to happen.
Just start the conversation.
Yeah.
As soon as you start the conversation, it starts to normalise talking about it at work.
It'll have to be the ethos of the organisation to really do that and value it when someone shares, and not just like, okay, everyone's told this story, now we're officially a really values-based organisation.
It's a complete cultural shift, cultural change.
And that has to start at the board table and the senior management of companies to be saying, this is an issue we've got a large group of people and there's every chance that 20% of our employees are going through something because that's what the statistics say. So we need to be at least open and honest enough to know we can't ignore it.
And I would, put that challenge out there to business leaders in New Zealand that this is your issue, this is a leadership issue. You can set the tone and make a difference. And
lead by example.
Yeah, lead by example, well said.